A Bollywood movie that doesn't include dancing or any insanely over-the-top, crazy-ass action scenes. Is it really a Bollywood movie at that point? Jawaani Jaaneman is a Bollywood dramedy directed by Nitin Kakar. I hope I pronounced that right. We follow Jazz, played by Saif Ali Khan, a carefree 40-something who by day half-ass runs a real estate company with his more responsible brother, and by night raging the night away at the clubs, getting shit-faced, partying like it's 1999, and going home with a different woman every night. Jazz has zero responsibility in life, and that's the way he likes it. He wants no long-term relationships. He wants nothing that's gonna tie him down. Hell, he barely wants a job besides the money that it brings in order to fund his nighttime excursions. One night, Jazz meets a young woman named Tia, played by Alia Furniturewala. Butchered that. And while Jazz thinks he's scored himself a new hottie for the night, he soon finds that Tia is offering a lot more than he bargained for. Apparently, Tia is Jazz's daughter that he didn't know he fathered 21 years ago. Not only that, but Tia's pregnant as well, and the father's nowhere to be found. So she's come all the way from Amsterdam to London to find her long-lost father. And no surprise, Jazz wants nothing to do with it. I don't have a ton of exposure to Bollywood movies outside of those over-the-top, insanely crazy action Bollywood movies. And even those is a bit limited, so going into a Bollywood comedy drama, I really didn't know what to expect. Shocker, what I got was a pretty enjoyable feel-good movie. Honestly, this is not what I think about when I think of Bollywood movies. It doesn't have any of the crazy, insane, over-the-top acting or action or any of the things that I myself have associated with Bollywood up to this point. It's got a few kind of zany, over-the-top scenes, but nothing too crazy like what I'm used to. For the most part, it plays it pretty straight, and honestly, I had a pretty good time with this movie. The story here is nothing that we haven't seen before, but it is executed extremely well. The movie is mostly a comedy, however, it has just the right amount of drama injected into it to keep it interesting. The story takes its time for you to get to know its characters and what's going on, so when that drama does come along, it actually feels like it means something. It also features natural character growth, which we don't get in a lot of movies like this. A lot of the times in these kinds of comedy drama movies, we'll have characters that are faced with something and then all of a sudden overnight they change and just become better people. It's not realistic in the slightest, but not with this movie. The movie takes its time. The characters are who they are in the beginning, and yes, they do grow, but it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen quickly. It happens over the course of the whole entire movie. And I did enjoy seeing that. I wasn't expecting it. I was more or less expecting, like any other movie like this, to get that overnight change that happens near the end of all these types of movies. And while yeah, there are some moments in this movie that are defining to some of the characters and they do make a change after those moments, it's not just those moments that cause them to change. It's a lot of the things leading up to those moments as well. It feels a lot more natural than what we get in a lot of these movies a lot of the time. There's a good amount of movie and story here too. It clocks in at a little over 2 hours long, which is a bit longer than this type of movie usually is. And the movie keeps up a good pace and stays entertaining and engaging throughout, which is saying something for a movie that is over 2 hours long in this genre. Now, while this story is nothing we haven't seen before, as I said, it is executed very well. It ends on a very satisfying note, and it just leaves you feeling really good in the end. It is funny throughout, not that laugh out loud funny, but a very enjoyable, good feeling kind of funny. And as I mentioned, it just leaves you feeling really good in the end. All the performances are very well done here also, especially Jazz and Tia. Also, on a side note, Tia, played by Alia Furniturewala, however you say her name, she is just absolutely gorgeous. Like, this woman is goddess level beautiful. And while she probably could have just fell back on her looks and didn't really have to give a good performance here, she did, and that made the movie all the better for it. The banter between Jazz and Tia is very well done. You don't get this good a chemistry between characters on screen a lot of the time. You totally buy these two as their relationship grows throughout the movie, and while everybody here does a great job, these two in particular did a fantastic job. I don't think I've seen either of them in anything else, but after this, I'm definitely going to be looking to see if there's anything else I can get my hands on with these two in it. It's a really good looking movie too. I mean, there's not like anything special in particular going on screen. There's not many, if any at all, special effects at any given time, but I mean, just the way the movie looks, from a technical standpoint, it looks really nice. So overall, just some really good direction here from Kakar. Overall, the movie is a comedy with some dramatic elements in it. However, it does have a message, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that. And that message is about growing up, but not in the traditional sense. A lot of people, including our main character Jazz, think of growing up as losing your freedom. You can no longer have fun, you're locked down, life becomes dull and boring. You get old. But that's not what growing up is, and that's what this movie's message is about. It's about explaining to this character and the world as a whole that that's not what growing up is. Growing up is not about losing your youthful spirit and life becoming dull and boring. No, it's about responsibility and owning up to that responsibility. Making the right choices, taking on those responsibilities, being an adult. You can still have a good time while taking on these responsibilities. You can still enjoy life. But through taking on these responsibilities and making these right decisions, you'll discover things in life that make you happier and more fulfilled than anything ever had before. Well, I can't say that the message in the movie is really subtle. It's not overly heavy-handed either. There are a few times that it is put out there in the forefront a bit more, but it's never shove it down your throat kind of in-your-face message. And I like the fact that they didn't go the route of just plastering the message up on screen at every turn in the movie. It made the movie more entertaining and that message more digestible overall. Guys, I had a really good time with this movie. It had great performances, a funny story with some genuinely heartfelt, touching moments at times, and overall just left me feeling really good in the end. And while I can't recommend that you go out and buy this one right away, whenever it shows up on your streaming service of choice, I absolutely recommend you go check this one out on Netflix. If you're looking for something to watch for the night that's just gonna leave you feeling really good in the end, I definitely recommend this one. So there it is, guys, my review of Jawaani Jaaneman. If you enjoyed and want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and help my little channel grow. If you liked what I had to say, give me a thumbs up. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, stay sexy, Mumbai.
You know, I hope you are my daughter.
Really?
No!
The title of this movie, translated from Hindi to English, means Youth Sweetheart, or Youthful Sweetheart. I would get both of them depending on when I look. I assume whenever the movie officially comes stateside, we'll get a name change. But who knows? We do live in a world where there was a movie just recently in theaters called Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. So I mean, if that title can make it through, who knows?